USAopoly, the OP, has a title that I'm dying to share with you. Talisman, Star Wars. This is a game for 2 to 6 players ages 13 and up, and should run about 90 to 120 minutes. Explore the Star Wars galaxy through memorable characters, places, and events from every era within the setting of a critically acclaimed tabletop game franchise. Available in European, Middle Eastern, and African regions, Talisman Star Wars allows players to compete in a circuitous race to reach Emperor Palpatine, collecting items of power along the way to confront the all-powerful Sith Lord, or stand behind him as an evil apprentice. Adventurers can choose from 12 playable characters to charge their way into the inner rings of the galactic game board. Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Rey, Kylo Ren, Count Dooku, and Obi-Wan Kenobi are among the custom-sculpted game pieces true to every beloved Talisman game. Ooh, that sounds pretty powerful. But actually, that sounds great. I mean, I am a sucker for Star Wars, always have been. To have more Star Wars gaming available is excellent. And, you know, they're not really tooting their own horn too much. They're a critically acclaimed tabletop gaming franchise. Talisman has been one of the most successful tabletop fantasy board games since, what, the late 80s, early 90s? I don't even remember. It's been around so long. And now that they've branched out and other games, other systems, such as the Batman Talisman game, are now coming out into the market, we are seeing a much wider concept of the view of this game. And to take an existing beautiful franchise like Star Wars and to put it inside a Talisman concept, you really have my attention. Now, right away, I'm going to say this up front because I know it does bother some people. It actually bothers me to a little degree as well, but this is an exception. And that's the fact that this is a Talisman game, so therefore, expect it to be a roll and move game. I know a lot of people aren't into that. Some people look down on it, even think it's basic, but that's what the core of this game always has been. So just be aware of that right up front. So one of the things that I've noticed about the game, the changes that they've needed to do in order to match the theme of Star Wars, is do a little bit of an overhaul on their alignment system, which originally and usually in the game runs from good to neutral to bad. Well, unless they're going to bring in the Janissari in some sort of expansion, there's no neutral going on here. So they redesigned, so to speak, the alignment system here to either reflect that of a light side Force user or a dark side Force user. Now, another small change that they had to make with the alignment system is this is concrete. Once you choose your character, you're on the path for the rest of the game. Now, that may bother some hardcore Talisman players out there, but I remind you that it is completely fitting, really, for the Star Wars, basic Star Wars black and white universe as was established in the original trilogy. Yes, as I joked in the beginning, we can in some future games bring in a neutral side. You know, perhaps the Witches of Dathmar or the Janissari, as I said. But for right now, the game just deals with light side and dark side Force users. And now, of course, everything I'm talking about here has to do with the players, with the characters that the players themselves choose. During the run of the game, you will have encounters with characters that are neutral, that can be fought and will fight anybody on either side. But as far as the players go, it's just going to be the light side or dark side. I'm enjoying reading the fact that even though it's a science fiction game or science fantasy game, as you can argue, they still keep the basic concept of spell cards in this version of Talisman. So of course, as you probably already imagine, the spell cards are sort of redesigned as Force skills and Force powers. And they too are light side and dark side, as well as some neutral that either side can use. And this is good, and I think very fitting to the Star Wars theme once again. From what I can see in the photos, it seems like the board, the traditional Talisman board, has been slightly altered a little bit, with the outer ring being for both sides, and the next center ring being kind of divided between if you're going light side or dark side. And if what I'm guessing in these pictures is true, then that is so beautifully appropriate. And in fact, kind of reminds me a little bit about my Grail game, the Jedi Game of Life. But still, in order to get to Palpatine at the very center, you will be obviously going a light or dark path, depending on whether you're trying to be his #1 pupil or to take him down. I've been reading that this is a quicker play game than the traditional Talisman, which is also, I think, a great boon. I think that's a plus, a positive, a great add-on. Not that I have any problem with the longer games, like the more classic versions of Talisman, but sometimes you do want to get that feeling and that accomplishment and the adventure. You kind of want to run through it sometimes, and apparently this kind of lends to that a little bit. A few people I've read about who talked about this game have said that it does play faster, you level up faster, and overall the entire gaming experience runs less than 30 minutes a player. And hey, that's great for what it is. And actually, for Star Wars, not that I think Star Wars has ever felt rushed, but I kind of think it feels a little bit more right here. And who knows, like I've been postulating about wishful thinking of expansions, extra expansions might add something like a neutral class, and a bunch more cards, actions, adventures, maybe another board part will add on to the length of the game, making it more of an epic style game like the classic style Talisman games generally are. Overall, from what I've read, seen, and heard about this game, I honestly believe that if you're both a board game fan and a Star Wars fan, you want to look into this game. Now, I generally don't tell people to go buy something. I don't tell you to go do something. It's your life, it's your mind. But I do try to give information for you to make up your own mind about. So, there you go. There's some information on a Talisman Star Wars crossover board game that has really caught my eye. And I am very much looking forward to adding to my own personal collection. So if there's anything interesting about this, please go look up some more stuff, make up your own mind, and if, like me, you decide that this is something that you think deserves to be on your shelf and on your table, great. Hey, we're on the same page. And if not, at least now you know, and you won't be wasting any money. So please, Star Wars fans, Talisman fans, general board game fans, I think you're going to want to check out Talisman Star Wars.